Welcome back to True Crime Pulse. Today, we're diving deep into the disturbing case of Erica Parsons, one of the most heartbreaking and haunting child abuse cases in recent history. A missing child, a web of lies, and a truth so horrifying it shook an entire community. In 2011, 13-year-old Erica Parsons vanished without a trace. Her adoptive parents claimed she was living with family, but the truth? It was far darker than anyone could have imagined. For years, investigators searched for answers, uncovering fraud, deception, and shocking abuse. But it wasn't until 2016 that the case took a chilling turn, when Erica's body was finally found in a shallow grave. How did a young girl's life end in such tragedy? And how did the very people who were supposed to love and protect her get away with their secrets for so long? Stay with us as we expose the truth behind this devastating crime. Like, share, and subscribe for more true crime investigations. Erica Lynn Parsons was born on February 28, 1998, to Carolyn Parsons. However, Carolyn faced a painful decision shortly after Erica's birth. She was faced with financial burden, unable to care for her, so she placed her for adoption, hoping to secure a better future. Erica's biological father was absent, but Carolyn's former brother-in-law and sister-in-law, Sandy and Casey Parsons, stepped forward to adopt her. Having grown up in foster care herself, Carolyn wanted Erica to have a more stable life. At just 4 weeks old, Erica joined the Parsons household, officially becoming part of their family, and the adoption was finalized in 2000. Casey Parsons fondly recalled those early years, saying, "We had her from 4 weeks old. By the time the adoption was finalized, she called us Mama and Daddy. We were the only parents she knew." Sandy and Casey had their own turbulent past. They married in the early 1990s and had 3 biological children, Sandy Jr. in 1992, James in 1993, and Brooke in 1995. However, reports of domestic violence clouded their marriage. Sandy was convicted of assaulting Casey in both 1994 and 1997, receiving probation and community service. Despite this, they stayed together, and their household grew with the addition of Erica. In 2001, Casey turned to surrogacy, advertising herself online. She connected with Amy Miller, who hired her to carry a child. What started as a promising arrangement quickly unraveled. 6 weeks into the pregnancy, Casey told Amy she had miscarried, then cut off all contact. Later, Amy discovered troubling evidence suggesting Casey had planned to keep the baby and had solicited money from multiple prospective adoptive parents. Legal pressure and an FBI investigation eventually forced Casey to surrender the child after birth, casting serious doubt on her intentions as a surrogate. Meanwhile, concerns over Erica's safety continued to mount. By 2002, social services were investigating abuse allegations in the Parsons home, dating back to when Erica was just 2 years old. These reports deepened suspicions about the way the family treated their adopted daughter. The Department of Social Services, DSS, launched an investigation into allegations that Erica Parsons was being physically abused. Reports indicated that Casey Parsons frequently carried a belt and used it to discipline Erica, leaving visible bruises on her buttocks, the back of her leg, and the side of her face. It was also claimed that Erica sometimes refused to eat and that Casey had told her she didn't love her. When DSS interviewed Casey, she denied all accusations of abuse. The investigator noted that Erica showed no apparent fear of her parents and even sat on their laps willingly. No visible injuries such as cuts or bruises were found during the examination. However, Erica was alarmingly small for her age, weighing only 41 pounds at 4 years old. To address concerns, DSS implemented a safety plan requiring Casey and Sandy Parsons to use non-physical discipline methods such as timeouts and groundings, and to provide a safe, stable home environment. On March 1, 2003, Casey traveled to Mexico for a two-ball ligation procedure. Later that year, in August, Erica was enrolled at Boston Elementary School. Teachers described her as a shy but kind child who often smiled and loved collecting stickers. One teacher recalled how Erica would brush her bangs aside when she felt anxious and beam with pride when praised. In January 2004, Casey posted online that she was pregnant and expecting a baby in September. Around the same time, another DSS complaint surfaced, prompting authorities to visit the Parsons home. The complaint alleged that Erica was frail, that Casey no longer wanted her, and that her parents had attempted to give her away. Casey and Sandy denied using physical punishment, claiming they only raised their voices when disciplining their children. They also stated that Erica suffered from gastrointestinal issues that made her vomit certain foods and denied withholding meals or attempting to give her away. When DSS interviewed Erica separately, she described her discipline as timeouts or losing privileges, adding that she might get spanked if she did something very bad. She appeared happy and bonded with her adoptive parents, but investigators remained concerned about her small size and fragile condition. DSS required the Parsons to seek medical care if Erica's eating difficulties persisted or if her development continued to lag. Despite these interventions, neglect was substantiated, as Erica was not receiving proper medical attention. She was placed in the care of an aunt, who observed that she wore toddler-sized clothing and was severely underweight. Under her aunt's care, Erica began eating regularly, playing, and gaining weight. She also confided that Casey and Sandy had physically disciplined her. However, the aunt did not pursue legal custody, and after 8 months, Casey and Sandy regained custody of Erica. In 2004, Erica was transferred to another elementary school, and on August 20th, Casey gave birth to a daughter. She then started a business called Carolina Tail Waggers, which some sources described as a Chihuahua puppy mill, though details remained unclear. Later that year, Erica was withdrawn from school and began homeschooling through the Parsons Christian Homeschool, a program Casey created at home. Casey was listed as the chief administrator of the Parsons Christian Homeschool, a program with minimal oversight. The state did not conduct background checks or require detailed progress reports, and while records indicated the school enrolled 3 female students and 1 male, no annual achievement test scores were ever submitted. Meanwhile, nothing was heard about Erica for more than 3 years. On July 30th, 2013, Erica's 19-year-old brother, Jamie Parsons, had a heated argument with his parents. In the aftermath, he reported Erica missing. He told officers that his parents had claimed, back in December 2011, that Erica had gone to live with her biological grandmother. However, Jamie always found the story suspicious, especially since his father and his mother appeared visibly distressed whenever Erica's absence was discussed. He described his father as looking pale and anxious, whiter than a piece of paper. Jamie recalled the last time he saw Erica. She was 13 years old, weak and unwell. Her complexion had turned gray, and she seemed exhausted. He remembered her telling Casey, "I can't breathe," but Casey dismissed her, ordering her to get back in the corner. The next morning, Erica was gone. When Jamie asked his parents about her whereabouts, they told him they had taken her to Asheville, North Carolina, to live with her biological grandmother, who had supposedly contacted them on Facebook. That was the last Jamie ever heard about his sister. Authorities immediately launched an investigation into Erica's disappearance. Detectives conducted an exhaustive search of the Parsons home, pulling up floorboards, probing the yard for hidden graves, and following every lead. Despite their efforts, Erica remained missing. Reports and tips poured in, including alleged sightings and calls from psychics, but none provided solid answers. The FBI joined the case, offering rewards and generating national attention. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children created an age progression image of Erica, transforming her last known photo at age 9 into a depiction of what she might look like at 15. These images were widely circulated in hopes of gathering leads. Casey and Sandy insisted they had last seen Erica in December 2011 at a McDonald's in Mooresville, North Carolina, where they allegedly handed her over to her biological grandmother. However, investigators found glaring inconsistencies in their accounts. Their daughter, whom they claimed was with them that day, denied ever being part of the trip. Further inquiries revealed that Casey and Sandy could not provide any contact information for the supposed grandmother, not even the Facebook profile they claimed she had used. The lead investigator searched records for anyone matching the grandmother's name in Asheville, but found no connection to Erica. By August 2013, detectives publicly declared that the story about Erica's grandmother was a lie. They also revealed that Casey and Sandy were refusing to cooperate with the investigation. Around the same time, Erica's biological mother, Carolyn Parsons, flew from New Orleans to North Carolina to assist investigators. That same day, Casey and Sandy Parsons appeared on the Dr. Phil show, claiming they did not believe Erica was missing, but was instead a rebellious teenager who had cut off contact. Casey stated that Erica's grandmother had informed her that, after staying with her for 2 months, Erica refused to return home. She further claimed she had attempted to contact the grandmother, but the phone number was no longer active, which she interpreted as Erica blocking them. Despite their appearance on national television, Casey and Sandy insisted they had been loving parents and maintained that Erica was safe. They denied any wrongdoing and attributed her absence to teenage rebellion. However, their story contained glaring inconsistencies, raising investigators' suspicions. In September 2013, Casey allowed media into their home, showcasing what she claimed was Erica's bedroom. By this time, both the public and authorities were growing increasingly doubtful of the Parsons account, and concerns mounted over Erica's whereabouts since her last confirmed sighting in 2011. Detectives long suspected that Casey and Sandy were withholding crucial information. They believed that separating the couple might lead to the truth, as Casey appeared to exert significant control over Sandy. However, a breakthrough came when investigators discovered a critical mistake. The Parsons had continued collecting adoption assistance and food stamp benefits for Erica, despite her absence for 2 years. These fraudulent claims opened the door for FBI involvement. By 2014, Casey and Sandy Parsons were arrested on 76 counts of federal fraud and identity theft. Sandy attempted to argue that Casey had orchestrated the scheme and that he was unaware of the household finances, but the jury rejected his defense. In March 2015, the couple was sentenced to a combined 18 years in federal prison. Despite their convictions, Erica's fate remained unknown until 2016, when a major breakthrough occurred. After maintaining a web of lies for more than 3 years, Sandy Parsons finally confessed. He admitted that Erica had died 5 years earlier, at the age of 13. Investigators escorted him to a rural site in Chesterfield, South Carolina, an area tied to Casey's past. Within minutes, Sandy pointed to the shallow grave where he and Casey had buried Erica. Detectives described Sandy's demeanor as somber and tearful as he recounted the events leading up to Erica's death. In December 2011, he awoke to Casey telling him that Erica had died. For 2 days, her body remained in a plastic tote while the couple decided what to do. During that time, they continued with their lives as if nothing had happened, even attending a Christmas party. Eventually, they transported Erica's remains to the Chesterfield County site, where they buried her in secrecy. Before burying Erica, Casey and Sandy Parsons poured bleach over her body in an attempt to destroy evidence. To avoid detection, they removed the batteries from their phones during their trips to the burial site, first to dig the grave and later to dispose of her remains. After nearly 5 years of secrecy, Erica's body was finally recovered. Detective Moose personally oversaw the recovery, ensuring that Erica was treated with the dignity she had been denied in life. Her remains were placed in a body bag, left unzipped so she would no longer be left in the dark. As a final act of kindness, Detective Moose placed a stuffed animal inside the bag before transporting her remains back to Rowan County. Erica's discovery brought closure to a case that had haunted the community. In the end, she received more love from strangers than she ever did from her adoptive parents. Investigators had long suspected that Casey Parsons orchestrated Erica's abuse and death. Hoping she would confess, they initially withheld the discovery of Erica's remains. When questioned, Casey denied everything, insisting, "I've never been there." But the truth was undeniable. Erica's body told a horrifying story of prolonged abuse. On October 14, 2016, the medical examiner began a detailed examination of Erica's skeleton. The findings were devastating. She had suffered years of relentless violence, with fractures across her face, torso, back, and limbs. Her shoulder blades and ribs had been broken multiple times, some injuries partially healing before being fractured again. The abuse was systematic, and the damage to her bones revealed a pattern of long-term torture. Her brother, Jamie Parsons, confirmed the extent of the cruelty. He recalled Erica being beaten regularly with belts and remote controls. Casey even referred to bending Erica's fingers backward until they nearly touched her wrist as friendly reminders. Beyond the physical violence, Erica endured prolonged starvation. She was so severely malnourished that her bones resembled those of a 9-year-old, even though she was 13 at the time of her death. This brutal combination of abuse and neglect amounted to torture, a level of cruelty rarely seen in child abuse cases. Family photos provided further proof of Erica's suffering. While her siblings smiled and played, Erica was often seen standing apart, facing a corner, isolated and unwanted. These heartbreaking images captured the reality of her life, a stark contrast between her siblings' happiness and her silent agony. On June 18, 2017, Erica was finally laid to rest in a funeral paid for by the Rowan County community. Hundreds attended, determined to give her the love and dignity she never received in life. By February 2018, Casey and Sandy Parsons were charged with first-degree murder, felony child abuse, and concealing Erica's death. Casey ultimately pled guilty on August 2, 2019, admitting to Erica's murder and years of abuse. In court, her statement was cold and emotionless. "I don't know why I did what I did," she said, adding, "I failed Erica horribly." Sandy also pled guilty to second-degree murder and child abuse, though he reportedly believed he had struck a deal with the FBI for a reduced sentence, something investigators later denied. Both remain incarcerated, serving time for both fraud and Erica's murder. Casey, currently in a Florida prison, will begin her life sentence in 2024. Sandy, held in New Jersey, is serving 33 to 43 years and will be eligible for parole at age 82. While their motives remain unclear, one fact is undeniable. Erica was treated as less than human, suffering unimaginable cruelty at the hands of those meant to protect her. As the community remembers her, many hope that changes in policy and oversight will prevent such tragedies in the future. Though the legal chapter of Erica's case has closed, her story remains a sobering reminder of the failures that allowed her abuse to continue unchecked. Advocates and lawmakers have since pushed for stronger protections for children in foster and adoptive care, hoping to prevent future tragedies like Erica's. Erica Parsons was robbed of a childhood, of love, and of a future. But in death, she finally found peace. As her story continues to be told, her name will not be lost to time. The world now knows what happened to Erica Parsons, and it will never be forgotten. What are your thoughts about the story? What do you think about the way Sandy and Casey treated Erica? Write me in the comment section. Until the next episode when we bring you more crime stories from around the world, thank you for listening to True Crime Pulse.